There we go.
It's starting, right?
Yeah, it started.
Okay.
We have to be professional on this one.
Yeah.
The last one was shit, so.
No, it wasn't. I listened to it again. It wasn't that bad.
I haven't actually listened to it. But here's what I'm gonna assume.
Yeah.
It was horrible. So for consistency reasons, this one needs to be horrible too.
Okay. Let's make it horrible. Okay, guys, it's gonna be shit.
Yeah.
Now we're just stealing from Podtaku.
I love Podtaku. Podtaku's my third favorite podcast.
It's my favorite podcast.
It's the only podcast you've seen, isn't it?
Maybe.
Yeah. Yeah.
I listened to it while getting to level 40 on my secondary character.
Have you seen all of it?
All of it? I've seen a lot of it. Like, all the topics that look interesting, I click on, and I think I've seen around 20 of them-ish.
Yeah, Podtaku really is. This is my third favorite podcast. Probably the only two that beat it would be the Game Over Greggy's show. Conversation with Colin, if you count that as a podcast, and if you don't, it'd be Game Scoop.
Okay, introductions.
Wait, I completely forgot about the MVC podcast on IGN.
We're not even on topic.
That's okay.
And it's the first... How long has it been?
I don't know. I don't want to tell time.
It's already the first minute and a half, and we haven't even introduced anyone. Okay, so I'm Ella. This is my channel, otherwise known as Hypermoyashi, and I have...
Have you posted the first one yet?
No. We need a backlog, remember?
Yeah, we're not going to get a backlog.
Oh, we're not?
I mean, I think our plan was originally to get a backlog, but unless we start recording more than one a week, we need to be posting the first episode either this week or next week.
Yeah.
And if we're going to be talking about Free, we should probably post this pretty soon, too.
Yeah.
At least before Free Eternal Summer is over.
What day do we want to update this anyway?
What do you mean?
Like, post it online? We should have a consistent day where we post. How about Friday? Friday's good.
Okay, but we probably won't be able to record every Friday.
Nah, I don't mean record Friday, I mean post it.
Okay.
And here...
I'm glad that everyone was here to, to hear this conversation.
Oh, yeah?
My Mao app just glitched out.
Your Mao?
My anime list?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I thought you said Mao, as in
Moe?
M-A-O. Mao. And I'm like, what? And here I have with me Christopher.
Hi.
Or Devout Chris.
Why would you call me that? Oh,
it's
because
your
my Mao?
username, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean...
I'm Hypermoyashi.
Yeah, I mean,
so...
Devout Chris is what I use for a lot of stuff. Like, I have no internet presence whatsoever. So...
I broke 80 subscribers!
I have 2 subscribers. But then again, I've never posted a video, so I don't really know how I have those 2 subscribers.
I think I'm subscribed to you, and I think I had Dorks on a Lob subscribed to you. So I think they're both me.
Hey, you can unsubscribe, though, because I'm probably never going to post a video there.
Yeah, but it's nice to subscribe to your friends.
Me and you don't follow each other on Tumblr. Me and you aren't PSN friends.
I don't care about PSN or Tumblr. Tumblr, I don't care if my friends follow me because I'm just posting a bunch of junk there. So
yeah, you wouldn't like that I post
YouTube.
anyway. It's like, well, I really care about YouTube, but like my Tumblr's like 1/4 yaoi, and sometimes also Anna.
Yeah.
1/4 like depression shit, 1/4 politics.
Gotcha.
And 1/4 like bad jokes.
Gotcha.
And that's my Tumblr. So
I think that went over 100%, but I didn't count. So.
No, I had 4/4.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Okay, so
yeah.
Free.
Free.
Are we going to talk about Free, or do you want to talk about last season?
We need to talk about Free first, because that episode was great.
Okay, yeah, so it is July 2nd. Free Eternal Summer just aired this morning. I literally woke up, saw it was 15 minutes till it aired, and I posted on Tumblr, and some friends of mine are like, wait, really? This is coming out today? I text Elle, I'm like, Ella, watch this today. And then we're gonna record. She's like, report a podcast? I'm like, yeah. So, Free Eternal Summer. I've been excited for this. This is one of my most anticipated anime of all of summer. And you don't really like Free, do you?
I didn't like the first season that much. It's one of those shows that I really enjoy while I'm watching it, but then afterward I look like, why did I like that? So
why did you like it?
This one?
No, why'd you like season 1?
Season 1?
While you were watching it. Because I remember before I watched it, you would talk about it with one of the girls who was in our art class, and you guys were like, it's so sad, or it was so funny, and all that. And I'm here like,
I didn't think it was sad.
She would say it was sad.
It was just a bunch of... The ending made me mad.
The ending was awesome.
I was expecting Rin to be, like, dying or something from the way he was acting, but no, there was nothing wrong with him. There was literally nothing wrong with him. He was being all dramatic and angsty over nothing.
He wants to be a good swimmer.
I actually like the way they're doing him a lot better, because he's not all, like, he's actually angsty about something because he's worried about, And it's actually, I felt that he really overreacted in the last season, but this season he actually feels more realistic to me.
We only have one episode to base that off of, though.
Yeah. Unless he starts throwing another shitstorm around, I like him again.
He probably will.
Dang it!
No, I mean, if he doesn't, there's no bait for the Rin Haru fangirls to kind of make the ship work.
I have a feeling that Sosuke is going to be mean to him or something, and that's going to be the drama of this season.
Yeah, Sosuke's been through a lot.
How do you know?
Ella. His older brother killed his entire clan, and he had to run away, and he lost his best friend, Naruto.
Oh my gosh, are we really on this again?
Sosuke's been through a lot. And Rin has to realize that someone else is more angsty than he is.
I like that he's captain, like, now.
Then Rin?
Yeah.
Rin's gonna be a bad captain.
He is. It's gonna be funny.
Rin doesn't know how to talk to people. Did Rin still have his shark teeth?
Yes.
Okay, I didn't...
He's still a shark.
Okay, because I didn't see them, and I was like, oh, he's no longer a bipedal shark person. But no, apparently he is.
Gotcha.
Did you see the ending? Did you watch the ending song?
Yeah, I did.
It was great.
Who's the mermaid? Mo's gonna die.
No, yeah. All of our friends are gonna die because they're all sexually attracted to mermaids.
Yeah.
But, yeah, Haru's a mermaid, Rin's a police officer, Mikado is a fireman, I don't remember what Nagisa and, Rei were.
I think Nagisa was a spaceman.
Yeah.
And then Rei was a scientist.
I was scrolling through Tumblr after and I saw, like, Mikado as a fireman, and, like, there were people like, Mikado as a fireman? Hell yeah, this is everything I need in life.
And I like how...
And then I saw a gif of, like, Rin just, like, pelvic thrusting over and over in his police uniform.
Oh my gosh. It's just like, yeah, Rin this season is just like...
It's just like what?
My archetype fave. You know how Pataku had that thing about archetypes and a specific archetype that you like? Rin is my archetype that I like. Like, literally Rin. I just got mad at him last season because it was over nothing, but I liked him last season too until the ending. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
The ending to Free, the first season, was one of the most intense anime endings.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah.
No,
it was more intense than, like, half the anime I've watched.
It was intense over nothing.
Just because
swimming.
Just because you don't find swimming important doesn't mean other people don't.
Okay, that's their opinion. This is mine.
Let's go through my anime list and compare what Free was more intense than. Free had a more intense ending than Blade and Soul. Free had a more intense ending than Code Geass, obviously.
The second ending of Code Geass?
No, I'm kidding.
No.
The first ending of Code Geass sucked.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it was a cliffhanger ending.
More intense ending than Dragon Ball. Definitely. More intense ending than Do Ra 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 because the last episode wasn't real.
I'll agree with that one.
More intense ending than Fake Hyliad Liner Prisma Ilia, which I watched and I loved. More intense ending than Fate Zero.
Yeah, Fate Zero didn't have
a letdown of an ending.
More intense ending than Free.
Free had a great ending. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Is that it actually was super intense. And my favorite thing about it is that when they're all swimming and they're all dealing with their emotional problems in the final race, you have Nagisa, who's just swimming and pretending he's with dolphins and laughing. And Nagisa's everything I care about.
I don't know. To each their own. I didn't really like it that much, but that's just me.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, some people are wrong, some people are right, so.
I'm gonna punch you. What happened to the acceptance? You're rejecting me.
I mean, sorry. Okay, so yeah, we're in agreement that Free so far, that the first episode was great.
Yeah, I've seen literally nothing else from this season, though.
Because nothing else has started.
Yeah, I know. Okay.
If you look on Annie chart, it's all coming out within the next 4 days.
Yeah.
But it doesn't tell me where it's coming out, so I'm so confused. So I don't know.
I'm just gonna follow Crunchyroll and see what Crunchyroll has and watch what Crunchyroll has, because Crunchyroll hasn't let me down yet.
Yeah, but what about, like, Love Stage? Where do I watch Love Stage?
You might have to watch that illegally.
What if it's licensed?
It might be. I don't know.
Wait, shows aren't usually licensed right after release, though. I don't know. If Love Stage gets licensed and it's not on any legal streaming site, I'll literally cry. Because then I'll have to wait years to buy it.
Yeah.
Okay, so anyway, last season.
Yeah, okay.
What was your favorite show of last season?
My favorite show or the best show?
Yeah, we're not talking about Makaku City actors right now.
Okay, so then we're going with the best show, which in my opinion was either Mushishi Zoku show or No Game No Life.
Okay, I watched No Game No Life.
Yeah.
And No Game No Life, I would categorize it as my favorite new show. So like it was my favorite original anime.
Yeah.
So like not a continuation or a sequel, because if we're saying continuations or sequel, Hunter x Hunter or JoJo's would take the cake for me.
I don't consider Hunter x Hunter. It's not a seasonal anime though.
I know. But like if you go on Crunchyroll and stuff, it still says that like it still lists Hunter x Hunter and Naruto Shippuden and all those as like continuing from previous seasons.
Yeah.
So
if it's
that's why I'm saying if you're not counting year-round or continuing anime or sequels or stuff.
My general rule is that if it goes over 2 seasons, then I don't count it as a seasonal anime.
I know it's not a seasonal anime.
Okay.
Hunter x Hunter still played during this past season though.
Yeah, it did, and it was a really, really great time for Hunter x Hunter.
Yeah.
So
I would categorize Hunter x Hunter as the best.
Oh yeah, if I was counting Hunter x Hunter, it would be the best. Okay. Because it was the ending of the Chimera Ant arc.
Yeah, spoilers for Hunter x Hunter.
Yeah.
And spoilers for JoJo's Bizarre Adventure also. Because I'm going to talk about that too.
But
no. We're still on Hunter x Hunter. I was just giving pre-spoilers. Okay. Hunter x Hunter literally just ended. And this past week I thought it was going to be the start of the 13th Chairman election arc. But it wasn't. And just yesterday, on July 1st, the last episode of the Chimera arc ended. Which is my second favorite anime arc.
What's your first?
We'll get to that when we get to JoJo's.
Okay.
It's Battle Tendency.
Battle Tendency is good.
Okay.
But better than the Chimera Ant?
Yeah.
I don't agree with you.
Maybe I should rewatch Battle Tendency. I love Battle Tendency.
I like it too. I just don't think it's better than the Chimera Ant arc. I mean, Battle Tendency is fun. It just doesn't have much substance to it.
I'm with you on substance. Like, when I'm reading a book, I love it when they have substance. Like, I mean, everyone's entitled to their own opinion, but it pisses me off when there are people who are like, The Fault in Our Stars is the best book ever. And then they're like, oh, Walden, that book sucks. But, I don't know, I just really like Battle Tendency. There's not a single character I really dislike.
Yeah.
I thought all the fights were good. I liked the animation, which I feel like somehow is better than it is in part 1 or 3.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Don't get me wrong, I really like Battle Tendency too, but to me I mostly view it as just fun. Like, I had a lot of fun watching it, but it's sort of like Gin the Gun or Kill a Kill to me. So.
Yeah, but, no. But here's the thing about Chimera Ant arc. Just a couple weeks ago I would have said that the Chimera Ant arc was my favorite anime arc.
Yeah.
But then I just have to think about, the beginning of that arc was so slow. And yes, it was necessary to build everything up, but it was so slow, the beginning of that arc. And I'm not saying everything has to be climatic, and that arc was dealt with very realistically, and I did like how it ended, but I felt like it should have had a little bit more of a climax than it did.
I like that it didn't have a climax. Because Hunter x Hunter, I've always liked it because...
Yeah, it's kind of a deconstruction of Shounen.
Yeah, because I've watched a lot of Shounen, and I grew up with Shounen, and I really like Shounen. So just seeing a show, but with my main problem with Shounen is that I can predict almost everything that happens in Shounen when I watch them. So I really like in Hunter x Hunter, when I'm watching it, I can't predict what's going to happen. Like, it'll always what I think what's going to happen by my shonen stereotypes, it doesn't happen. So I really like the way they ended it, and I really liked the way they did the climax. Even though it wasn't very climactic, I thought it was perfect.
Perfect?
Huh?
I mean, you've said a lot that you don't like all the side characters like Akalgo or Welfin.
I mean, there was a lot of that, but I'm talking for shonen, battle shonen. Like, I'm judging Hunter x Hunter as a battle shonen.
Yeah, no, I know.
So for a battle shonen,
it is a battle shonen.
Like, the pinnacle of battle shonen.
No, yeah, no, and I agree with you. But my thing comes to, like, I like all the side characters. Like, I'm attached to Welfin as a character. I think he's a great character. I think Akalgo is a great character. I think Brawlvada is a great character. I think, like, Neferpitao and Shiapoof and Minthu Yuppie and Meruem they're all great characters. I think they did a great job with all the ants. I feel like they did a great job with all the humans like Knuckle, Nav, Shoot, Morel, and all those guys. So I think that I think his name's Togashi. I think what Togashi does is where he actually develops all his characters.
Yeah.
Is fantastic as opposed to something like, and I don't know if this is like a battle shonen, but like as opposed to some like Kill la Kill where you have all these side characters that lack any sort of substance.
Yeah.
So I really do appreciate that, and I felt like it was great how he introduced all these characters that are pretty much just for this arc.
Yeah.
That they're just here, and they're important for the arc, but they're really not going to come back, yet he still put in the time to develop them, and made all of them important in it, which he couldn't have done if it was a battle, because not all of them were powerful enough to participate in a battle.
Yeah.
But it just comes to the fact that I really did like the ending. Like,
yeah.
Episode 135 of Hunter x Hunter is one of my favorite anime episodes ever.
Yeah.
I really did enjoy it. And when I first heard about what the ending was, but back, you told me, and then I read the manga, and then just recently I watched it on the anime. When I first heard about it, I was really upset.
You were.
And then when I read the manga, I was able to accept it. And even with the anime, I thought that it was even better done in the anime, because the anime is better than the manga. But just my trouble comes into it with, I feel like there should have been more of a climax. Even in other deconstructions like Madoka Magica, there's still a climax in Madoka Magica.
The climax was the fight between the king. In my opinion, the climax was, like, the main climax was the fight between...
The king and Netero?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was the climax.
And then the arc ended 11 episodes later.
Yeah. That was all the... They used an entire another arc to clean up after this arc. The resolution's going to be a while.
I know.
So, and it doesn't follow the stereotypical format, so...
Yeah.
I mean, as an anime, it's not perfect, but as a battle shonen, it is my standard for battle shonen.
You can't say the best of the best is the standard.
Huh?
You can't say the best of the best is the standard.
You
pick something in the middle as the standard.
Oh, well, then my standard would probably be Naruto. Because it's up and down, up and down.
Which one?
Up and down.
Or just it as a whole?
Shippuden.
Okay. Shippuden has some legitimately great parts, though.
It does have a lot of legitimately great parts, but it has a lot of legitimately...
Oh, yeah, no, I'm not arguing that at all. Like, I would never recommend Naruto to someone. It does get really, really good at a point, and I've heard it gets really, really good again. I feel like I've kind of hit a slow point again.
Yeah, I have too.
Yeah, I'm about 30 some odd episodes behind you.
Yeah, I'm bored right now.
I'm on episode 205, you're on episode 243, right?
Yeah.
And I think me and you both haven't really watched it for a couple weeks.
Yeah.
The Itachi Pursuit arc and the Invasion of Pain, basically episodes 112, which is where the filler arc before the Itachi Pursuit arc, episodes 112 to like 170-ish is fantastic. And then it hits a filler arc, and then it hits a cleanup arc, and then it hits another filler arc.
Yep.
Before there's a 90-episode World War arc. And then it's supposed to get good again. So that's the thing with Naruto. It does get really, really good, But to get to the really, really good Itachi Pursuit arc, you literally have to surf through 200 episodes of crap from the preliminary fights in the tuning exam, which was the last time the original Naruto was good. All the way through the rest of Naruto. All the way through Shippuden until episode 112.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's the problem with... And, like, that's the stuff with a lot of good anime. Like, even there's a lot of anime that do have legitimately good parts. Or with a lot of long-running series, they have good parts, but just... It's hard to praise the good parts when the bad parts stand out.
Yeah.
You know?
I think that's one of the things I like about Hunter x Hunter so much, is that even though it's really long, it stays consistent with quality.
It's gotten better.
Yeah. Like, it gets better as you go on, so... Like, I think the only arc that I would say was bad was the
Zoldyck family arc.
And even
but
that
was only
arc
4 episodes.
And yeah, that was a tiny arc, and it wasn't even
It wasn't bad. It was just completely forgettable.
Yeah.
And to an extent, the Heaven's Arena arc was too.
Yeah, the Heaven's Arena arc was more of a training arc.
Yeah, which is why it was forgettable.
Yeah.
Like,
so it was good for a training arc, because I hate training arcs, but it was not... It was forgettable, yeah.
Everyone I've told to watch Hunter x Hunter, who has watched all of it, ends up really liking the show, but I always have to remind them when they're starting, like, just get to episode 40. Just get to episode 40.
Yeah.
And then you'll really, really like it. Because that's when the show really gets good.
Yeah, the Yorkshire arc.
Yeah, and then it has a slight dip in the Greed Island arc.
Yeah, Greed Island's still good.
Yeah, no, it's great. Like, if I had to rank these arcs, I would give, like... Hunter Exam a 7. It was a solid arc. I don't really think there was anything super special about it. It was an introduction arc. Then you have the Zoldyck family arc, which kind of dips down to an average 5 for me. Heaven's Arena arc, like a 6. It was better, but it's still a training arc. Then you get to the Zoldyck arc, should be like a 9. Really good. Greed Island arc, 8. And the Chimera arc, like a 9.
Yeah.
I can't really give Yorkshire or Chimera a 10 because I can think of things wrong with them. So,
yeah.
But yeah. So yeah, no. I would personally say that the Chimera arc isn't my favorite. It has some of my favorite episodes of anime and some of my favorite moments and stuff. But I would just have to say Battle Tendency because I never got bored in Battle Tendency.
Neither did I. I never really got bored in Hunter x Hunter either unless I was going episode by episode. Which I don't do a lot with long-running shonen.
See, at the very beginning of the Chimera arc, I was bored. Which actually, it usually doesn't happen in Hunter x Hunter.
I wasn't bored, actually. I was really enjoying the very first part, and I know a lot of people don't, but I actually really liked it. So
Why do you like it?
I don't know. I just think I found the Chimera ants themselves interesting, and...
We should switch the conversation of this podcast to Shounen.
Yeah.
Okay,
probably.
Cool. Okay, go.
Okay.
Continue.
I found the Chimera ants themselves really interesting and how they were slowly developing human traits, and I wanted to see where that would go. And I also liked that they went through the,
No. That's not the beginning. That's the whole middle section.
Oh.
I would say that the beginning is before Colt is born.
Before Colt?
Yeah.
Oh, then that part, I don't remember much of that part. I marathoned it all in one day, so...
No, I did too. I was still bored that day. It was basically Gon and Kite with all Kite's weird-ass friends, wandering around a tree village, taking off all their computer stuff, and driving around in a van, while a queen had mindless zombies eating animals.
No, you see, I don't think that's what I thought of as the first part, though, because I think somebody broke it down for me. Like, the first part was, the very beginning to
where the king is born?
To where the king is born.
Okay.
So that's what I considered to be
so, like, I don't really know exactly when Chimera arc starts. I think around 72 or ish. But I know the king is born episode 91, The Weak and the Strong.
Yeah.
So that's about 20 episodes.
Yeah.
And the arc is about 60 episodes.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the first part. What would you say the second part is?
The second part is...
Probably the king to the invasion, which would be episode 111.
So it's like them
20
preparing for the invasion and all the events leading up to the invasion. And the last part is the invasion.
Yeah.
So
and the invasion is 25 episodes.
Yeah. So those are the 3 parts that I consider.
Okay.
Which the first part, the very first part of the first part is kind of boring. I will agree with you.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, if you're considering those the 3 parts, I kind of have a huge memory blank of what happened in the middle section then.
The middle
Because
section?
because, let's see, Gon went on his date with Palm.
Yep.
And then Kiowa had another mental breakdown.
Yep.
And then they fought the rabbit guy. And all of the general squad leaders or whatever were going out, and the Lion went on TV and killed the girl and all that. There was a whole cheater running. And then,
Kamugi met the king.
Oh, yeah, that was during that whole part.
Yep. That's what made that showdown part for me.
Yeah. So there was that. And then Gon and Kiowa fought Knuckle and Shoot.
Yeah.
And that was basically it, right?
Basically. Oh, and I think Kite died too in that part.
He died after the king was born?
Yeah, I think so, maybe.
No.
He died before?
Yeah, because remember Neferpitou was in the lair with the queen and Kite's body was there.
Gotcha. Okay.
Pitau's great. Pitau's one of my favorite characters. Yeah. Okay, so yeah. Yeah, I mean the Japan arc's not bad by any means whatsoever. Yeah. I was just considering the fact that I can think of things wrong with it, and like, here's the thing: I get why he had to set it up, and I get why the beginning is slow, because it was such a big arc that he had to build up tension in. I completely understand that, and I'm glad he did it. I just feel like he maybe could have figured out a way to make it a little less of a drag at the beginning.
Yeah, he could have.
I don't know.
I still like it.
No, it's a great arc. It'd be one of my favorites.
I think one of the main things that made the arc was actually Meruem himself. Like, just in my opinion...
Did you know he's based off Cell from Dragon Ball Z?
Yeah, I don't care.
Okay.
I'm sure he's a much better character than Cell.
No, much better character than Cell.
Okay.
I actually, the guy who voices Cell, I recently, watched him, and he was a guest star on a podcast, and I didn't realize it was him till, like, an hour into the podcast, and I was like, holy shit.
Whoa.
Okay, but go.
In my opinion, Meruem is one of the best most well-developed and best villains I've seen in anime. No, nothing to dispute.
No, I'm trying to think of examples that we could debate on.
Okay.
My first instinct is pain.
Well, okay. Here's how.
Especially if we're sticking to shonen.
Here's what makes a villain great for me. Like, development, which I don't think Pain had a lot of. Like, he got backstory, but in the show he didn't change much, except for that stupid ending where he went, "Oh, Naruto, okay, I'll just fix everything for you." That's the only development he got, and I thought that was kind of dumb. And then presence, which they both had, but I think the king had a lot more presence than Pain, just because whenever the king showed up...
Well, the king was also a lot stronger.
Yeah.
He stood out a lot more physically.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, Pain was so upset about not standing out, he had to make 6 more copies of himself.
Yeah.
And,
So, like, whenever the king shows up, you go, oh shit, who's gonna die? And whenever he shows up, you're just, like, waiting for him to kill someone, and then either he does or he doesn't. But they just built him up for, like, the entire time before he was introduced. Mm-hmm. And then he was introduced, and they kept building him up.
And he killed his mom.
Yeah. So I think he had a lot more presence than Pain.
Yeah.
And then also relatability. I think villains should be a reflection of the dark side of humanity. Sort of? Kind of?
Yeah, Pain is definitely that.
Yeah.
His real name's Nagato, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was...
Yeah,
I would agree with you on the other 2 points, but I would say Nagato is way more relatable than Meruem. The only thing that really made Meruem relatable was Kamugi, and she was pretty much absent for 2/3 of the arc, and then she dies.
Yeah. So I would give Pain that one, but still, 2 out of 3. I think Meruem's the better villain.
Mm-hmm.
I do really, really like Pain, but I like Meruem more.
Other people... I would say Vegeta, but he eventually becomes a good guy, and you haven't seen all Dragon Ball, so... Yeah. I don't know, I'm a really big Dragon Ball fan.
And also, to be a villain, they can't switch sides. I consider them anti-heroes when they switch sides.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
I think that's one of the things with anime does. Like, all the good villains tend to switch sides.
Because,
the trend I noticed.
It takes a really good author It takes a really good author to kill their character and
Yeah.
do it in a way where it's not a cop-out.
Yeah.
Because if you can kill your character in a way that actually works with the story, but is still a good character, that's really great. Like, the king dies.
Mm-hmm.
And that's great. If he had switched sides, it would have been really dumb.
Yeah,
Because there would have been no challenge that then the hunters couldn't have taken on.
Yeah, just
and
look, send Meduum, he's the
Yeah.
strongest person ever.
And there would have been no motivation for him to switch sides.
Yeah.
Now, that being said, if you have a villain or a character and you just kill them for kind of no reason, that can kind of be a drag too.
Yeah.
And it's really hard to actually, if you have a good character, it really is hard to kill them.
Yeah, I've almost done it once with one of my characters and then I cut it.
I recently did it with one of my characters.
Genkai? And then you didn't?
No, I ended up doing it, remember?
Really? Is he actually dead?
Yes, he's dead.
Oh, okay.
He's so far suppressed in the consciousness of his own body that he will never get out.
Oh, wow. Okay, they have no idea what we're talking about. I'm going to freak out about this later.
Okay. No. I'm just going to explain this now, okay? This is for a role-playing forum that we're on. Genkai, in my opinion, is the second best character I've ever written. The first being the little sister in my story.
Based on a true story?
Yeah, no, not based on a true story. We don't need to go into any more details.
Okay.
I don't know, maybe Genkai. I actually really like Genkai. And no, I've actually had this plan since I played out his character. I had a plan to kill him. And I've had this actually planned out for months, and it's been such a hassle not to say anything, because I wanted it to be a surprise. The only one who knew was Biz about a couple days before it happened.
Oh.
And then when I did it, I had a mental breakdown, and I was like, never mind. And then the next day, I'm like, okay, yeah, no, it has to happen.
You just had to mentally prepare
No, but here's
yourself.
the thing. The spirit inside of him, which if you're going to think of a spirit, part of the idea, think of it like a Jinchuriki. Okay? He basically has a fire spirit inside of him. It's basically like that whole kind of, it's sealed up there.
I completely understand.
Yeah,
You don't need to explain it.
Yeah, okay.
Let's move on with the podcast.
No, wait, I want to explain.
No, we can't explain. They have no idea what we're talking about. Literally, you will be.
No one's gonna watch this anyway.
Well, yeah, because it's shit now.
It's all everything I put my hands on turns to shit.
Okay.
But in order to keep the body alive, because the spirit wants to take control of the body, he couldn't just die, because, like, if someone dies, the body starts decomposing. So the spirit needs him there. So just like how Genkai had the spirit suppressed, it's now the opposite. Genkai's never going to get out. Like, his only hope out is if there's, like, some empty vessel of a body, like if there was a comatose patient, and you could somehow convince the spirit, and get enough magical energy to do it, somehow convince the spirit to put Genkai in, like, the comatose patient. That's, like, his only hope. And even then, he'd be fused with the comatose patient's, like, personality. So, like, he's gone. He's dead. Now we can move on.
Okay. Is there anything else we want to discuss with Shounen?
Yeah, we need to move on to JoJo's.
JoJo's, right.
Because I need to tell you why I think it's my favorite anime arc.
Okay. Battle Tendency?
Battle Tendency, yeah.
Okay.
The second arc of JoJo's, episodes 10 to 26 of the newer anime. First of all, the main character, Joseph Joestar. He's such an improvement from the first JoJo, Jonathan.
Yes.
And such an improvement from the second one, from the third JoJo, Jotaro. Which are the only really three I'm familiar with. I know some of the names of the later ones, but I haven't read the manga, so I don't really know them as characters. So me saying this, I've only seen the first three JoJo's, and he is by far the best one.
Yeah.
Not only because I feel like Jonathan definitely had conflict. Jotaro really has no conflict. Jotaro really has no drive. His mom's in a coma, but it was Joseph who said, like, come on, get up, we're gonna go fix this.
Yeah.
So, yes, Jonathan had conflict. He did have a backstory, and he did have pain and stuff. But all that basically revolved around, God, I hate this dude.
Dio.
Yeah, whereas Joseph's was much more like, it involved the death of his father, his mother leaving, it involved, like, he's basically his only friend is always being picked on because he's black, and then he gets a new friend, and that friend dies. Like, he knows there's something special about him, yet he can never really, at least at the beginning, he can never really catch up with Caesar. And then later, like, every time he does something, he tries to stand up, he gets punished for getting the rings put inside of him. And every time he steps up and tries to fight, he has to then protect his mom, or he can't do it, so he has to run away, and he runs away a lot. So Joseph's a great character. Not only that, but he's also funny. And I actually feel like he's pretty good looking. Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah. And, I mean, let's be honest. If a character is good looking, I'm gonna like the character more. So for the first one is Joseph. Second one, there's actually all the other characters are good too. There's not a single character in part 2 of JoJo's that I don't like.
I agree.
Okay, you do?
Yes.
Yeah.
I like all the characters in Battle Tendency.
No, I thought you didn't like Speedwagon.
Speedwagon? Well...
Because I love Speedwagon.
Speedwagon is just on the side.
I'm so team Speedwagon.
He just sits on the sides and screams. Okay, there's one character I don't like. I don't like characters that sit on the side and scream. They're Sakura. They are Sakura.
Sakura?
Sakura.
Okay. No. Sakura has that one arc where she's useful. The Kazekage rescue arc.
One arc, yeah. Whatever.
Okay, no. Speedwagon's great.
I don't like him. To each their own.
I'm gonna explain to you why Speedwagon's great.
Okay.
At least in the second arc. One, because it kind of bridges the gap. And yes, Jonathan's wife kind of did that. I think her name was Anita.
Yeah.
She kind of did that. And she was a presence in raising Joseph, obviously. But I'm gonna argue, actually, Speedwagon had more of an influence on Joseph than Anita did. Because he was there when Joseph first realized his power and crashed the plane for the first time. And he was there basically to support all their stuff. He had the money. He already knew about the Joestar legacy much more than Anita did. Anita really never saw Jonathan in action, and Speedwagon did. And so Speedwagon supported them. He helped shape JoJo, and he was actually there in the final conflict. Yes, he just kind of screamed, but everyone needs moral support and friends. Plus, he helped Smokey accomplish something. Smokey was a black person in the 1930s. He probably would have never accomplished something without help from Speedwagon. And I know Smokey isn't really a huge character either, and in the end he just becomes a governor or mayor or something.
Yeah.
But, like, that still kind of speaks to me because, like, it's actually really cool that an anime from Japan is commentating on social issues in America and saying, like, we need more POVs in power. Not POVs, POCs.
POVs, point of views in power.
So, I don't know. I think Speedwagon's really great. Plus, his name's really cool.
Yeah, okay, I agree with you.
Okay, and then Smokey's great. Caesar's great. And Caesar's another good example of a character that died well.
Yeah.
Because there are usually 3 things happen in anime. Either the character dies well, the character doesn't die well, or the character dies well and then is brought back to life.
Yep.
So yeah, no. He died well. Lisa was a good character.
Yep. And
still probably one of my favorite parts from the entire arc is when he's spying on Lisa taking a bath, and he's like, yeah,
and you go,
naked women, and that's his mom.
Yeah.
And I felt like all the antagonists were good, and the German Nazi guy was good. And it's really cool that they made a character that was a Nazi good, not because I think the Nazi ideology is good, but just because you don't usually see that a lot.
Yeah. Okay, my turn.
Wait, I'm not done.
Dang it! Give me a turn to talk, man!
Dubstep squirrels. Okay?
Okay.
Dubstep squirrels. And the final episode and how he defeats his enemy was so creative.
Yeah.
Now I'm done.
Okay. My turn. One of the main things I actually like about Battle Tendency is actually Joseph.
Yeah.
Because I think that he's a really, really entertaining protagonist.
Yeah, he makes the arc.
Yeah, he does.
Oh, wait, I forgot one final thing. The ending song, Roundabout. Okay, now you can go.
Thank you. He doesn't let me talk.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I think that he was really entertaining in that he's intelligent.
He doesn't really come across, though.
No, I thought he
yeah.
did. Because he uses random strategies to get out of things. Like, he's not book smart at all, but he is intelligent. He's not stupid. Like, with
I would argue... I would argue that Jotaro is smarter than Joseph, though. Like, even in fights. Joseph relied on a lot of dumb luck. And, like, I'm not saying that as a detriment to his character, but, like, even, like, the final... how he defeats his enemy... I said it was really creative and great on way to defeat the enemy, but he even admits, like, dude, this is so lucky of me. Like, I didn't plan this out at all. So, like, you can't really credit Joseph all that much on his fights.
Yeah. I did thought it was really interesting, his luck.
Yeah.
Because it was nice to see a character that just kind of goes, oh, wow, look at me, I'm so lucky, yeah, instead of just going, I'm great. Like, because most shonen, I don't know, I just think he's a really good protagonist. Okay, that's all I have to say.
No, I agree with you.
Okay. And, actually, that's one of the only things that I'm enjoying about part 3 is because I'm seeing little bits of Joseph and Jotaro. Like,
see, I've actually really grown to like part 3. And at the beginning, I wasn't too crazy about it. But I actually... characters like Polnareff and Kakyoin, like you see in episode 10 and 11, I think they're actually pretty good characters. And actually, the stands, which I wasn't too crazy about initially, it's really a creative way to fight. And a lot of these fights are actually really creative. Now, I wish it was kind of a less of a format of Enemy of the Week.
Yeah.
I kind of hope that'll change. But that was kind of how it was with Battle Tendency 2.
Yeah.
To much less of an extent.
With Battle Tendency, there are only like 3 or 4 villains, though.
4. Yeah.
4. There are only 4 villains to defeat. Yeah. This time it's like, and it took multiple episodes.
I think. No.
So.
I think there's been 9 because Kakyoin and Polnareff were villains too.
Yeah. And that one, it took like multiple episodes, the entire arc, to beat all 4 of them, and they weren't beaten like the same episode they were introduced. But with this one, they are. So it's sort of like taking on like a Sailor Moon format for me, which is kind of annoying.
Sailor Moon.
Well, because it's one of my childhood animes, so of course I'm gonna like it.
No, you can't give shows a pass just because you watched it as a kid.
No, I like it because I watched it as a kid. I don't think it's a good show.
Oh, okay. I'm really excited.
There's a difference between thinking it's good and liking it.
Like SAO.
Yeah.
I really like watching SAO. It's really entertaining. Do I think it's good? No. Am I pumped for season 2? Hell yeah.
I'm actually excited for season 2, yes.
I am too. Have you seen the previews?
Yeah.
They look really good. I'm really interested because of the whole first-person shooter aspect. In fact, you don't see that in anime because they're in Japan. And first-person shooters aren't really popular in Japan. But, I'm really pumped for SAO Season 2. Speaking of Shounen.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Attack on Titan. Because me and you have much different views of Attack on Titan than the rest of our friends who think it's the godsend of all anime and the end-all, be-all, greatest thing ever. With John Marco.
John Mark, I didn't even realize I didn't even know who they were, or that they were a thing, until after one of my friends was obsessed with it and explained it to me, and I'm like,
a lot of our friends are obsessed with it. I can name like 3 off the top of my head.
I didn't even know who Marco was. I just knew he was the kid that
died. No, that's the thing. So when I was watching Attack on Titan, when I finished a show, I knew who 5 of the characters' names were.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until after, now I know almost all their names, but that's literally because... It's not because of any credit to the show. The show does a horrible job actually characterizing people.
Yeah.
None of these characters have pretty much any development. All the development these characters get are from fan fiction.
They do get a little bit of development. I will argue with that. It's just hard to notice because it's kind of subtle, but at the same time, there's not a whole ton there.
Really, the only character that gets any development is Armin. And I actually think people really overcredit his development. I don't think it's as much as people say it is.
Yeah. I mean, I think the show is good in that the anime is well done.
Yeah.
And then I think the storyline is good, but it really fails in the department of characters, and if you don't have good characters, then it's hard to care about the story.
Yeah, there are better... If you don't have good characters, there are better ways to tell a story than a story that focuses around characters.
Yeah.
Because something like World War Z, have you read that book?
No, I have not.
So it's a book that takes it tells the story of the zombie apocalypse, but through a documentary in book format. And it actually works really well because since you aren't following characters, you really just have to listen to the testimonies, and it's actually a really good story, despite the fact there's pretty much no characterization at all because it's all told through fake interviews.
Yeah.
So and obviously the show wouldn't have gotten popular if it was in documentary format. So I'm not saying they should have done this because they never would have made all the money they did.
Yeah.
But you can't really sit here, at least in my opinion, you can't sit here and say the story's that great if their characters aren't great.
Yeah.
Because I'm not one to get super attached to characters anyway, but part of the story is characters. And for that reason, I don't really think the story's all that great. No. I mean, really, what is the story? A kid's parents die, so he signs up for the military. Then his friends die, so he goes outside the walls, and more friends die.
It's really well done.
And then he captures a friend.
Yeah. I think the quality of the show, like the actual production quality, is really good. Like with the music and animation and stuff, and how they did certain moments.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying
really
that.
Like
I'm not saying the show is bad.
Yeah.
I gave it a 6 on Mal.
7.
Yeah, so.
Or 8. I think I gave it an 8 actually.
Wow.
Production value. I like the moments. It had some pretty intense.
Yeah,
moments.
you're one of those. I'm not trying to say it's wrong or anything. I'm just. Yeah. You're one of those people who will like stuff more. You'll like a video game more if it has better graphics, right?
Yes. Well, I think it's a part of the storytelling,
Yeah, I know.
Not a part of the storytelling, but it's a part of the aesthetics. Like, it's more pleasing to the eye, and if it's more pleasing to the eye, I'm going to like it better.
Oh. Like, I play a lot of old games, or even indie games, and those have horrible graphics, but, I still...
Well, I like Pokemon, so...
Huh?
I like Pokemon, and I actually have a game somewhere that doesn't have good graphics, so... that I play. But that game's more based on strategy, so...
Yeah.
I don't mind watching or playing games or watching or show them or whatever. I don't mind bad things if something else makes up for it, but if nothing else makes up for it, then I'll just be like, eh. So.
Yeah. Now I get it. Like, I'm watching Ping Pong the animation, and it's a really good anime. And I'm not one, a lot of people we know will be like, I can't watch because of the art style. I've personally never understood that. I'm not really gonna not like a show because of the art style.
Yeah.
But I can't really deny I feel like I might like... I mean, I think Ping Pong the Animation is a great show so far, but I feel like I would like it more if it had more of a budget behind it, you know?
Gotcha.
So I kind of get where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what next?
I don't know. I've came up with every topic. Do you just want to end it now?
Yeah, with Shounen. Yeah, okay.